Cancer and cross watchers. Welcome to my March 2018 love reading for the sign of Cancer. Welcome to the Divine Love Tarot channel. If this is your first time joining me, welcome, welcome. Okay, if you've been here before, thank you for joining me again. And either way, I hope you enjoy this reading. Down below on the scroll across the screen at some point during this video, you'll see my physical email address. divinelovetarot@gmail.com. People ask for personal readings. That's where you can contact me. If you don't see the information also below in the description bar, you can find out how to get access to the extended readings that I also offer each month for each reading. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get into this Cancer reading. All right, the first card we have is going to represent your current energy for this month, Cancer. And we get the Queen of Cups in the reverse, all right? So, Cancers, this could be your energy. This is you kind of a little bit out of your element right now. You might be overly emotional about something, upset about something. This can also represent Gemini, okay? So it could be Cancer or Gemini for some. If this is not you, if you're dealing with a Gemini, this might be them. All right, but if not, a person, this can indicate either some type of stagnation in a relationship or in your love life, okay? The Queen of Cups in the reverse can represent unrealistic expectations. Someone who doesn't have a really realistic look or outlook on love and relationships, or high expectations of what love and relationships should entail. So it's almost like someone who expects only the good parts of love and doesn't recognize that, you know, love takes work, right? Sometimes. This person, or, you know, if it is a person, they can actually love drama, or maybe this is just a lot of drama and turbulence, volatile emotions going on in your relationships. For some, this can also indicate alcohol abuse or, you know, over drinking. So if that's an issue, you know, you may want to focus on that also. So, you know, the Queen of Cups in reverse is someone who is either neglecting of their relationship or their love life, or they're just overly smothering of their partner if they're in a relationship. Okay, if you're single, it can represent someone who's like overdoing it, doing too much to try to get a date, to try to get into a relationship, and forcing the issue when it's just, you know, things are just not lining up. Okay, the Queen of Cups in reverse represents manipulation also. Okay, so you want to watch out for that as well. Okay, let's go ahead and pull a card which represents the crossing energy or your challenge also for this month. All right, and we have, oh, okay. Well, I pulled the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. And the Three of Cups just came flying out also. So, okay, Three of Cups, I'll read you too. All right, so first we'll start with the Three of Pentacles. And that can indicate that there is some type of, there's like a lack of cooperation, okay? Possible breakup, or somebody wants to break up, okay? This can indicate just a setback in your relationship if you're in a relationship. It can indicate cutting ties with someone and a possible infidelity. Okay, so that's very interesting with the Three of Cups jumping out with it. So for some of my Cancers, there is a three-way situation going on, okay? For others, this indicates that you might want to get out more, okay? If this is not a three-way situation, for my singles and my couples, you might just need to get out more, okay? If there's stagnation going on in a relationship, maybe it's time to change, you know, for a change of pace. All right, so maybe you guys need to go out, have fun with your friends, okay? If you have a relationship where you're always with your partner, maybe you guys need to do things separately. Maybe they need to, you know, spend some time with their friends, you spend some time with your friends, you know, just get out and enjoy life. Or if you guys don't go out, if you're in a routine with each other, then, you know, go out together, enjoy each other, remember all the fun things you love about each other, okay? For my singles, you also might need to get out, okay? If you're feeling like you're stuck in a rut in your love life, and there's not much going on, maybe you need to get out and meet some new people also, okay? So go out, socialize. You might even meet someone through a friend, all right? Let your friends know that you're single and you're looking. You never know, you know, they know you, so they might know the kind of person that would be perfect for you, even if sometimes we don't know that ourselves, right? So let's go ahead and move on to our past energy. And we get the Eight of Cups in the reverse, okay? So in the past, that can indicate staying too long in a relationship that wasn't really working out, or a relationship that was kind of like an unhappy situation. Okay, the Eight of Wands in the reverse, I'm sorry, the Eight of Cups in the reverse can also indicate ending a long-term situation. Okay, so maybe in the past you've moved away from a very long-term situation that was not making you happy at all. Okay, now the thing with the Eight of Cups is that it's the eights, you know, eight represents infinity. You see there's a moon here. The emotions are, you know, tied to this because there's a lot of cups here with the Eight of Cups. So this is not something easy. This wasn't an easy decision to make. That's why you were there so long. And there's a tendency to go back to that situation. So for some of my Cancers, you might be actually thinking about this situation. That might be what has you off balance, is this situation from the past that you may not necessarily be returning to, but you might be, you know, your emotions might be kind of all over the place just even thinking about that situation. All right, let's move on to now your future energy in this reading, and we got the Seven of Wands. Okay, so some of my Cancer, Seven of Wands indicates feeling defensive. Okay, or you know, the need to have the upper hand in a situation. Okay, this can also indicate that there's a lot of work to do if you're in a relationship. All right. For others, this can indicate that your family and friends don't necessarily approve of the person that you're with, or you do not feel satisfied with the options that are presented to you. So if you're single, you may have a few people seeking your attention, or a few people trying to, you know, get at you, and you're like, I'm not really interested in any of these options. Okay. Now we move on to your what you want. Okay, so this is what you want, Cancer, and I pulled the Queen of Wands. Okay, so you want someone who's warm, someone who's charming, someone who's cheerful, very passionate, sort of like a free spirit. Okay, this person is spontaneous. This also can indicate a woman who is in charge of a relationship. Okay, so for some of my Cancers, if you're the woman, you know, it's almost like you want to be in charge of things in your particular relationship. If you're in a relationship, even if you're single, you're looking for someone, or you just have the tendency to be the controller in this situation. Okay, and this Seven of Wands, like I said, in the future position, indicates someone who might possibly be trying to get the upper hand. All right, so for others, the Queen of Wands could indicate an Aries or a Pisces. So some of my Cancers, you are wanting someone who's an Aries or a Pisces. Okay. Now let's move on to what your internal factors are. And we get the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, so Cancer, yeah, there is a confusion going on here. Okay, things are not what you want, and what you're feeling or what's going on inside kind of are not lining up. Okay, and maybe perhaps they are lining up depending on how you look at it. You know, if you want someone who's spontaneous and free-spirited, which the Queen of Wands represents, and you're feeling like you're not ready to commit, that may be the perfect option for you. Someone who's also not really trying to get tied down into any type of serious situation. And for others, this just indicates that, you know, you're not putting in a lot of effort into your relationship right now, whether that's because you're just working too hard or your focus is elsewhere, because that's also what the Eight of Pentacles represents. Okay, you're not quite focused on love or your relationship. For some, this can also indicate commitment issues, okay, or for others, not wanting to commit to a certain individual. All right, Cancer, so it seems like here that either some of you, if you're in relationships, you're working too much. Even if you're not in a relationship, even if you're single, your love life might be stagnant right now because you are focused on other areas in your life, okay? Possibly work. For others, it seems like you're in a situation where you're with someone and you're not necessarily sure if you want to commit to this person because it looks like you want a bit of freedom, okay? You would rather not be tied down at the moment. Okay, that's not all my Cancers, that's just some. If you've been in a long-term relationship and it's been kind of rocky, I think right now you're just not at a place where you want to put any more time and effort into something. You may feel like it's because it's the other person's turn to do some of the work. Okay, so it's like, you know what, I don't really have any more love to give this situation right now. Could be a reason for, like I said, the stagnation that's going on in your situation. And once again, it probably just means that you guys need to have a little bit of downtime, okay? Whether that's alone or whether that's with someone, it's time to get out and explore what's out there and kind of, revive things a little bit, all right? Especially for my long-term relationships. Now let's go ahead and move on to the advice for this reading. And we get the Knight of Wands, okay? So the Knight of Wands, as the advice, the Knight of Wands is basically like, it's just like go for it, right? The Knight of Wands is energy. It's spontaneous. It's a sudden burst of energy. So it's like kind of telling you, don't limit yourself, okay? If there's other things that you want, if there's something that you feel like is missing, don't feel like you have to stay confined within this set of unrealistic expectations that you may have, um, you know, built up in your mind, okay? And because of these expectations, you have a limited viewpoint of how love and relationships are. The Knight of Wands is like, look, don't do that. All right, there's more out there. There's other options. If you're not satisfied with the options, don't settle for any of them. If you're not satisfied with what's going on in your love life, you have the energy to change it right now. Okay, this is like the green light to go ahead and move towards the direction that you want things to go in, okay? Because most likely this positive enthusiasm, this energy, of course your spouse is not, how could they resist that, right? If you're in a partnership or a long-term relationship. If you're single, that card is telling you to go ahead and get out there, okay? Get that burst of energy, be spontaneous. You never know who you're going to attract towards you. All right, now let's go ahead and move on to the external factors in this reading, and we get the Five of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so someone in your external environment, either that person, it's like the Five of Swords represents power struggles, okay? Someone feeling the need to always be right or always prove that they're right, even at the expense of causing an argument or causing things to be unsettled. Okay, so this person can be possibly having an inflated ego. So either that's how someone sees you right now, Cancer, or maybe you're dealing with someone who is like that, okay? Someone who's always causing friction because they're just always trying to be right. They always have a point to prove. All right, and maybe that's the cause of some of this defensiveness that we see appearing in the future position. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to what your hopes and your fears are. So we get the Queen of Pentacles in this position, which means that, Cancer, at the end of the day, right, the Queen of Pentacles, it is a earthy sign, but sometimes I feel like, Cancer, you guys are like the Queen of Pentacles because you love to nurture people, all right? You love to take care and love. You can be very devoted to someone. So I think you just want someone either that represents that, someone with that grounded energy, someone who is going to be devoted to you, someone who is going to nurture you as well. All right, because you don't always want to be the one, doing all the nurturing. And so, that to me, that's just like, who wouldn't want someone who's going to be devoted to them? All right, so either that's what you want or you want someone who's going to make you feel like this again, someone who's going to pull out all the nurturing qualities, all the positive qualities that you embody. All right, now let's go ahead and move on to the outcome and last card for this reading. And we get the Knight of Swords, okay? So the Knight of Swords is fresh energy, okay? The Knight of Swords is upbeat. It is cheerful. So for relationships, things, can move to a deeper level. They become more satisfying. So that's good. That's good. That's saying that, this stagnant energy is just temporary. All right. And it's like I said, if you do get to that point where you feel like there's stagnation or there's a lack of cooperation, maybe whatever you do, what you've been doing hasn't been working, and it's time to get out and enjoy the world together. And maybe you bring back some of that fresh energy in your love. And, because the Knight of Swords can also represent like whirlwind energies. Oh my God, whirlwind relationships, okay? And kind of the knight that comes in and sweeps you off your feet. So for my singles, that's exactly what that can indicate. Someone that comes in, possibly an Aquarius, right? The Knight of Swords can be an Aquarius or a Capricorn. It's the cusp, whatever. It could be either or. So, but most likely an Aquarius or an air sign. Okay, so someone who's lighthearted, someone who's got that airy type of energy. Things it lessens some of the heaviness that we see in the beginning of this reading. Okay, so you don't want to lose sight of this commitment that, maybe for some of you who are in a committed relationship and the commitment part has been kind of tricky. All right. For some of you, tricky enough to look outside the relationship, or you're dealing with someone who has been looking outside the relationship. You just want to say, look, you're going to take this Knight of Wands energy and say, this is what I want in my love life. This is where things need to go. This is how I want to move, in the future. And for some of you guys, you definitely are going to get your relationship back on track. Okay, Cancers. And for my singles, I think that you guys are getting to a place where you're like, okay, you know what? I'm ready. I'm ready for love. I'm ready to go out there. I'm ready to meet somebody. And that's exactly what you're going to do. Okay, so let me just take a look at your yearly snapshot, Cancer. I'm doing this every reading. And, just to reiterate that for this year, your focus is on mental clarity, okay, stimulating new ideas, new directions in love. So this is exactly what the Knight of Wands is advising you. You also got the Three of Wands, which is having patience with those that you are in a relationship with, or with those that you are thinking of in a romantic sense. Um, you know, yeah, we all want things to change, okay? But it's almost like wanting to change things for the better. And if you're waiting for the person that you're with to change, then you're going to have the patience. If you've decided that you're going to wait for someone to change and get their act together, then you're going to just be patient through that process, okay? Because that is a process. Everything is a process. Anything that happens suddenly and overnight, can you really trust that? Can you really trust someone who just wakes up and says, boom, I'm different today? All right, Cancer. So that's your yearly focus. I just always try to incorporate that into the reading somehow. So that is this reading up to this point. From here, I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards to clarify certain positions in this reading. And if you're interested in that, there's going to be a little icon with an eye on the screen that will explain how you can get access to the extended reading for this month. All right, my Cancers and my cross watchers. I hope you guys enjoy this reading, and I will see you guys at the next reading. Bye, guys.